Welcome to Business Blueprint, where we guide entrepreneurs through the building blocks of business success, one insight at a time. I'm your host, Jeffrey Beckles, and today we're diving into one of the colorful forces shaping our future, the orange economy. This powerful sector offers more than just economic opportunity. It's central to preserving our culture and creating sustainable livelihoods across the Bahamas and indeed around the world. The orange economy, often called the creative economy, includes industries like music, film, visual arts, crafts, fashion, and cultural heritage. It's where Bahamian identity and entrepreneurship meet. Creativity is becoming a core pillar of national development. In today's conversation, I'm joined today by Angelique McKay, head of the Orange Economy Unit in the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And Angelique, it is such a joy to have you on the show. We were talking before we came on the air of the excitement and passion that exists in this particular sector. And today, we're going to talk very, very directly about it. The SBDC has been the leader in driving support for small businesses in the Bahamas. The creative sector is one of those sectors where we have put in almost $500,000 in investing in our young businessmen and women who are very excited about this space. So let's talk about how the SBDC is transforming this landscape, firstly by creating an opportunity for entrepreneurs to get into this space, and then how we're partnering to ensure that we develop a very sustainable path to taking advantage of this creative economy.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. One of the initiatives from the SBDC that I got super excited about is the Tingzy initiative.
Yes.
Because with my feet on the ground and my boots on the ground within the creative industry of the Bahamas, one of the challenges has been for these creatives to be able to get persons internationally to view their products. Never mind, it's great products that we have here, but the world is not aware of what it is that we have. So with that particular assistance, with that website, to be able to get them to further expose their creative products, I was overly excited by that.
That is one of the reasons why the SPDC really wanted to focus on that. As a matter of fact, one of the areas that we anticipate will grow in the coming years, because the truth of the matter is, when we look at the expanse of the orange economy, that's a huge level of opportunity for every Bahamian. We heard in a recent conversation that even the export of artwork is increasing in the Bahamas. And when we look at the landscape and see how many artists we have here in the Bahamas, that most people didn't realize it was so. So when we look at the expanse of what we call the orange economy, talk to us about available opportunities in music, in film, in art, and so forth.
Well, one of the things that my unit is doing now as a part of the mission, and the mission of that particular unit is to assist with the exporting of creative products globally, so that our artists are able to realize economic gain and benefits as a result of that. So what we're doing is we're trying to link different local agencies to our unit, to the Orange Economy Unit, so that when persons come, you're like, okay, are you aware that this particular agency exists and can help you with this or that? In addition to our unit speaking with international festival producers, international event organizers, in an effort to say, look, we have artist A, and I'm going to use KB as an example because he's my favorite in the world. So tell a particular festival, we have a KB that does both contemporary and traditional rake and scrape. Here's his music. Can we get him on your stage? So these people internationally may not be aware of what it is that we have here. So it's incumbent upon me to reach out to them to showcase what it is that we have here, to open new doors for our artists here in the Bahamas.
So we're creating an appetite. We want to whet the palate of the world. And you make a very good point. Most people around the world don't know anything about Junkanoo, for instance.
Mhm.
Rake and scrape. They don't know anything about that. We don't know anything about collect. We don't know anything. They don't know anything about those things. So we have to work more diligently to whet the appetite by letting people know these are products from the Bahamas.
Exactly.
And I believe that's one of the wonderful, we call it marketing, right? But the truth of the
Yes.
matter is we're whetting the appetite of the world so that they would appreciate it.
Mhm.
And how else are we doing that? You talk about connecting with agencies, but what are the other what other formats we're using? What other solutions are we using to let the
Well,
world know?
of course, we're using social media platforms. We're creating different programs and projects. The latest initiative that we're doing in the Orange Economy Unit is we've invited artisans to submit their works. And we're creating a live digital booklet
Excellent.
where ministers, our permanent secretaries, our ambassadors, both locally and abroad, are able to purchase products as gifts. This is your one-stop shop, as opposed to going to a store, a local
Right.
store, or buying it online from a foreign space. We support the creative industry locally, and then they're to share that booklet with their international counterparts to be able to begin to get this ball rolling.
One of the things that I note that is really impressive, every time we have a diplomat call on the Bahamas or one of our diplomats call on their jurisdictions that they represent, they take an authentic Bahamian gift. And that in itself is a very huge statement about the confidence we have in our artists. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back from this break, we'll continue our conversation with regard to how some of the things that we're doing to expose and increase awareness of our orange economy. We'll be back right after this message.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
I chose Bank of the Bahamas because it was a Bahamian-owned bank. The bank has certainly supported our evolution through overdraft facilities, purchasing of equipment, facilitating of salary payments, and I really believe that Bank of the Bahamas is able to help in the development of the local economy. I would truly recommend the services at Bank of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to the SBDC's Business Blueprint. We're here with the incomparable Angelique McKay, who leads the unit, the creative unit at the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And so, Angelique, we were talking earlier about some of the things that we're doing to make the world aware of these unique things that can only be found in the Bahamas. The SBDC's commitment to investing in young entrepreneurs in the creative space is literally just a step into the door. Industry leaders like yourselves, with working with the Ministry of Economic Affairs, who must now help to clear a path that can take these entrepreneurs to the world. Let's continue that conversation and how we're doing that, and what are some of those opportunities that are available to entrepreneurs in the space.
Well, I've been able to witness some persons in the creative community actually applying and receiving. And I mean, just hats off to the SBDC for what it is that they do, because not only were they able to receive a grant, they also got their hands held with the creation of their business plans. Because that, for creatives, that is one of the most difficult things in order to be able to focus on the business part as well as the creative part. So it's a challenge for them to be able to do that. And for that type of assistance, it's something that is definitely needed.
Fantastic.
And it also prepares them for being able to venture beyond our borders, because that is the only way that our artists and creatives are going to be able to break the chains of having two jobs, one to eat and one to be creative,
Right.
to be able to expand their vision beyond the borders of the Bahamas.
Should Bahamians be buying more local creative products? I know the answer is yes, but let's talk about that, because the truth is, we don't, as a people, we don't invest in it. We don't invest in Bahamian art. We don't invest in Bahamian music to that extent. We don't invest in things Bahamian. How can we help to express confidence in these creative solutions and creative products so that the world knows, yes, it comes from the Bahamas, but Bahamians buy it, they love it.
Yeah. The thing is, those of us that believe in these products, we have to showcase it every day. Wear these items as a badge of honor. Speak about it. Whenever I travel, I am basically a billboard for the creative industry in the
Yes.
Bahamas, basically, right? And I think we take for granted that we could easily go down the road and get this item. You know, so it's different from when we travel, like, okay, I'm not going to be here too long. I better get this now. So we take for granted. Yes, we know it's a good product and we know it's beautiful, but I could easily get that tomorrow.
Right.
So I think that's my feeling as to why.
I'd love to see, wouldn't you love to see every Bahamian home have at least one art product from a Bahamian artist in their home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would love to see our women wearing our earrings and our necklaces and so forth. It's a great expression in the confidence in the sector.
There's a particular ceramicist. She does Junkanoo pieces. And I'm telling her all the time, I say, you're trying to get all of my paycheck because each product is like, I need that, I need that. And I think we just need to do more marketing of these items so that people are aware that they are out there. Because oftentimes people are not aware of a lot of the things that our Bahamian creatives produce.
When we were offline, we talked a little bit about some of the unique challenges that persons in the creative space run into. What are some of those challenges that we can work on together to help lower the bar in terms of reducing the amount of red tape?
Well, one of the things I think, and the creation of my unit is there to help with some of this. Persons in the creative industry, they don't always know what agencies can assist them to get to the next level. So our agency, our unit would be able to be like, okay, you can apply here for a grant. You can go there to help with your business development. Here's another agency that offers free legal advice for the creation, for your paperwork, for your business. So it acts as an agency to assist them with things that they may not necessarily be aware of that are needed to get them to the next level. And it reduces their anxiety and allows them to be more creative as they begin to move forward.
That's incredibly important because, as I said earlier, we at the SBDC open a door. We provide funding. We ensure that we help with our incubator to ensure that you are able to do business right, but then the pathway to success. Having said all of that, you recently shared your experience from a cultural trip that you took, and you invited some of the local artists to participate in that. Tell us about that and why doing things like that is so important for the space.
Well, I just recently came back from the city of New Bern in North Carolina, where they invited me to do a presentation there. And it was based on the opportunities for cultural exchanges and to get some of our artists to be able to partner with them. That particular city has so much community art, so much. And I had an opportunity to meet with their mayor with regards to that partnership, as well as their arts council president, as well as gallery owners, to be able to create opportunities to have our visual artists have works in a new space. So it's exposing them to a different audience that they would not necessarily be exposed to. That same trip had Junkanoo. So the Junkanoo Commandos were at the festival the same time, where they conducted workshops for children within the community, and they participated at the festival. And this opportunity was opened because the city of New Bern has a connection with Junkanoo. So that was able to link Junkanoo from them and to Africa. So they're watching what it is that we're doing here in our creative space. So the exposure that we're able to get as a result of social media is going to take our creative industry to the other level.
Interesting that you mentioned they have an affinity for John Canoe, and so do we, and they wanted to see what ours look like.
Yes.
When we come back from this commercial break, we'll be getting into the Mentorship Minute with Ariel Pinder. So please stay with us and we'll continue our conversation.
We have to be mindful that as much as we want touristic development, what impacts the fishery? Over-coastal development, destruction of mangroves, overzealousness of the industry. We have a new movement called do-it-yourself fishing. That is anglers who come to the Bahamas, they don't engage in hiring a guide. Because of this approach, you are going to have people who are going to exhaust the resources.
This is an industry that's preserved. It should be for Bahamian guides only. We have the DIYs coming in here and they're destroying our flats.
We try not to overfish certain areas, so we'll fish a certain area and we'll back off for a while because we don't want the fish to feel too much pressure.
It's not just using the buzzwords of the environment and the ecology. The tourists can be educated that the more you support local ownership, people are doing it obviously the right way, the more the economic circulation in the communities.
I think the most critical thing is accountability, and that accountability by way of legislation, both the act and regulations to govern fly fishing in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
I look at conservation efforts and the regulation that I've seen to protect the industry that's in the developed world. All of those jurisdictions have implemented strong regulation to protect their fisheries. We are way behind, but we do have a movement and a consciousness. We know where we need to be. Those are our resources, and we have to make an exerted effort to protect it because that's the only gift that we have been given. And if we don't protect that, then we lose everything.
Building the lodge, I understood clearly the mission to continue what my father started. From this lodge, it has served as the headquarters. We finally got legislation passed in 2016, and it legitimized the guiding profession. We pushed to get the program established into BAMSI in the training of the next generation of guides, but it extends way beyond that.
We need more Bahamians in the industry who are doing the research to provide the information to the industry, that is to fishermen and to everybody who benefits from the resources.
We don't know the resources in this country. We grew up just hearing about sun, sand, and sea.
It is going to be through education and awareness, whether it's within our schools, whether it's in our communities, to conserve the environment, that is going to sustain the fly fishing industry.
Well, the future of fly fishing in the company, I think fly fishing is a very, very unique spot. I think it's going to get better because the guides are now being all certified. They're all getting proper knowledge of handling and how to run the whole system.
If you're a youngster and you want to get into this, it's a job like any other job. You got to live it. You got to love it.
Young entrepreneurs coming in, you want that kind of interest. You want that kind of drive and desire. You want to carry that. You want to become the product.
My late husband, Tyrone Albury, had a passion for brewing beer at home. We found one of his recipes and we started on the stovetop with 1 gallon of beer. It was a hobby that turned into a passion project that turned completely out of control. We had to make a decision whether or not we were going to continue home brewing or open a brewery. So craft beer is basically brewing a very small batch of beer. Every individual batch of beer is going to be slightly different.
We're always trying to figure out what the next best beer is going to be.
Just the sheer amount of love and effort that goes into every brew. It's a science, really, to selecting the right grains and the hops, and then expanding on some of the normals.
Really, in the last couple of years, we've had a lot more of the locals that have found our location.
They realize that there is a fuller flavor beer out there, and we take pride in that. When we first started the concept of the brewery and we were looking for funding, it was the SBDC that we leaned on to help me push through at times when I wanted to give up, to tell me when I was making mistakes, and for that, I am grateful. So I would encourage all entrepreneurs, if you're looking for funding, mentorship, and encouragement to launch your new business idea, I would encourage you to contact the SBDC.
Hi everyone, I'm Ariel Pinder, your host for the Mentorship Minute. Let's talk about one of the most important traits of every successful entrepreneur, the willingness to learn and adapt. The business world moves quickly. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. That's why you need to stay curious and stay informed. Read books, listen to podcasts, or take a short course, like our Business Blueprint training course, to keep up with the trends that impact your business. But remember, learning is only half the battle. The real power comes from being adaptable. That means being willing to shift your strategy, tweak your product, or even change your business model if that's what the market demands. In business, rigidity can break you, but flexibility can build you. So, keep learning, keep evolving, and stay ready for what's next. You've got this.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Welcome back. Today's conversation reminds us that the Bahamian economy is bigger than banking, tourism, and retail. There are powerful opportunities in our culture, and these are the spaces where innovation and sustainability meet. As we get back into our final segment, Angelique, I want to talk a little bit about what's next. What do you see? We were talking earlier about the power of Junkanoo. Most of the music that our Junkanoo groups play are written by Bahamian artists. Most of the choreography that's done is done by Bahamian artists. There are musicians, percussionists, and trumpeters, and all the wind instruments that are involved in creating this music are all done by Bahamians. To the extent that we have easily 150 to 175,000 Bahamians involved in the production of Junkanoo, and anything that commands that kind of large percentage of our population has to be worthwhile. So there has to be something larger than Boxing Day and New Year's Day just for Junkanoo alone. Let's talk about what that could look like.
Well, for me, and it may not be the most politically correct answer, but it's a response that I stand by. We need, for the production of Junkanoo events, to be done and conducted by professionals that have experience in event and festival production. And it's not to take anything away from Junkanoos themselves, because I am 100% sure that we have Junkanoos that are able and equipped to be able to do that. We can't just continue to do Junkanoo the way that we have been doing Junkanoo and to be like, oh, I'm a Junkanoo, so I need to be in the forefront. Let's put persons who have that experience to take us to the next level. Let's be able to monetize Junkanoo, right? We have small facets where they do get some economic gain from Junkanoo, but it's not sustainable the way that it's being done now.
Let's be realistic. It's not, what you're seeing is not new to us. And here's a good example of it. We discover that a 7th grader is a good track athlete. So we take him as far as we can take him, but eventually we turn him over to an international coach who can take him to high school and get him to college and get him exposed to where he can get a scholarship. And next thing you know, he's running in the ACC or the Pac-10 or the Big East. It's about handing off. And so we're used to doing that in other areas. And to your point, sometimes to get to the global level, we need to hand it off. Not that we don't own it, not that we don't love it, but we need to be able to take it to the next level.
I agree 100%.
And to the point where it's not just about the songwriter or the choreographer. It's about the artist who has to conceptualize the idea of what our theme is, and the builders.
So many.
And so the other thing is there are tremendous opportunities for scholarships.
Yes, yes, yes.
So while we are at the SBC are prepared to fund and make ready that young entrepreneur, the opportunity window for scholarships in these specific disciplines that came out of the orange economy
Exactly.
also avail themselves. So when you can think of, there are college students who literally head home to blow their trumpets and their trombones and the tubas because they love this music and they do it well. And the percussionists, this is not easy work. And so the expansive opportunities are immense and they're broad, and we want to encourage Bahamians to get involved. So as we wrap up our time together, what would you say to that aspiring creative artist out there who has been reluctant to take that step forward? How would you inspire him today or her?
I would tell that creative person to put everything that they have into their creative endeavors, because that creative fire that's in them, their creator put that in them, and there's nothing they could do to out that flame other than to create.
That's it. Wow,
That's
that's a powerful statement, and you're right. The God who put it there for a reason, and that is for it to be developed and to grow. As we close, what do you see? Not only what do you see, but what's Angelique's vision for the creative space for the Bahamas?
My vision is to the way that the Ministry of Tourism exposes our sun, sand, and sea, for the Orange Economy Unit to expose every aspect of the creative industry of the Bahamas. Because there's this one line that I coined a few years ago, is that the culture of the Bahamas is why it's better in the Bahamas. So to get our creatives on the global stage, that's my mission.
Wow, that is fantastic. What a wonderful and insightful conversation we've been having today. It's uncovered tremendous opportunities and the richness of our orange economy, and we look forward to you achieving that vision, because as we support you in achieving that, we all win. And so a special thank you to Angelique for being with us today. It's been really, really exciting, and we feel your passion. And so to our viewing audience, we thank you for joining us today on the SBDC's Business Blueprint. We look forward to you joining us again. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to you turning your insights into tomorrow's success. We'll see you soon.